Hello and welcome back to the Reynoldsville short line. In this video I'm going to show you this section of the layout more in detail, starting here with the town of Reynoldsville. Right now it is just mocked up, but this is pretty much the planned arrangement of what's going to happen. And moving on along, behind it you see an 18-inch bridge to get the Reynoldsville short line over a river scene. I've got it cut out. In the previous video I did not. And in the foreground you can see a road bridge that will also be crossing the waterway. I still have some things I have to do to the bridge. I'm reusing it from a past layout, but I thought it would be a great addition. And moving on in the back, you can see scrap metal dealer. This scrap metal dealer, I will be using many of the products from Walthers. Number one, they're available and handy. I will be using this loader to load the crushed up metal into the gondolas in my HO world. And speaking of gondolas, let me show you these loads. These loads I made about 15 years ago. What I did was just sweep up the shavings out from under a machine at a machine shop, glued them on the cardboard, dropped them in the gondolas. Frequently I'm asked, where did I buy these? I did not buy these. That's how they were made. They look awesome. And like I said, I get a lot of good comments about it. And you can also see I'm working on some scenery, just getting some color on the layout, so it's just not a big styrofoam central. In the foreground here you can see the LPG dealer. My first name is Lane, so this is Lane's Gas, kind of a play on words. To build this industry I have use of the Rick's products, or I'm sorry, Pike Stuff. This is the retail building. I've got the front painted up if I can move around here. So in the front you've got an office, and in the back you have a warehouse slash shop for use to work on the trucks for the LPG dealer, maybe repair propane tanks. And we'll take a line from Hank Hill. We're going to sell propane and propane accessories. Now moving on over, this is the start of the cement company. You can see the cement trucks. They get loaded right here in this part of the facility. And it is a Walthers Blue Star cement. I don't think it is produced any longer. It has been kit bashed a little bit and modified to fit my need. One of the things I did specifically was cut the hole for the conveyor to be added into it. So when the aggregate is brought in on the cars and dumped into this building, if the aggregate is needed to go over here for this, then they're carried via the conveyor. And if they're needed to go into the rest of the complex, they go through this side of the conveyors. Now, this building here is the craft mill from the Superior Paper Company. The other part of the warehouse building from the Superior Paper Company is used on the layout as a standalone industry. On here I'm using it as the powerhouse to generate the power and heat for the rotary kiln. Now, when the aggregate comes through this small conveyor here and goes into this, which is a crusher building, and also the kiln, it's heated up, transferred through the rotary kiln into this crusher building. Now, once it gets to this crusher building, it's known as clinker. and the clinker has to be crushed again and then also cooled, hence the reason for the water tank in the back. The little lean-to shed was just a piece left over from another kit, and it just goes to show you don't have to spend a whole lot to get a lot of results. I thought the little lean-to shed added a whole lot. Just like back over here on the powerhouse, this little filter building in front, I picked it up at a train show for a couple of bucks, already assembled and weathered. And I have some pipes there that I'm going to put on the building, and they're going to run down to this filter section. So a little detail goes a long way. Now continuing on, this conveyor that comes from the clinker crusher that goes up to the silos. Now with the Valley Cement Company, only one set of these silos came with it, but I added a second set. Makes it look a whole lot larger, more of an ominous structure, and adds a lot of interest. So this whole industry is 2 feet wide and 7.5 feet long, with the approaching tracks being just about maybe another 6 inches at most from one end. So you're looking at 8 foot for a complete industry from end to end. And then behind this small office building, which this is a Pike Stuff kit, is the turnout that will allow for the continuous run to happen when I get this section built. Now you see many wires coming up through the insulation foam board that I'm using as a base. These wires are of course to hook up the track. I'm using 18 gauge as the main bus and 22 gauge for the drop feeders. The way I'm soldering is the same way that you can learn how to do from a video from a fella named Thomas McEwen. Thomas McEwen is on Train Life as well as YouTube under the name TN Shortline Fan. He's a really sharp individual and has taught me a lot in his video series. I think it'd be really worth your while to check it out and learn from him as I have. And for now, I'm going to end this part of the video, and I look forward to making another one for you and hopefully get to being able to teach you guys some things. But I want to give you the rest of the gist of what's going on. So in the next video, I'll cover another section of the layout and also the yard, and maybe even get a train or two running. So I appreciate your time. Please subscribe. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. Thanks, and have a great day.